just been doing my testing. Off there, so sometimes that's- What was on the other side of that door? Some wizard. Pay no attention to that. Make yourself very comfortable so that you're on your knees. Wear out your knees. Take care of your body, even if you don't feel it now, right? Try to get as many miles as you can out of your body. So those are kind of, think about those things as you go throughout your day. Feel it or not, taking care of yourself.
You're saying just being on your knees, if it's not padded, it's hard on it.
Well, everything's wear and tear, right? And sometimes we have parts of our body that we desensitize. We're just used to it. We just keep doing it and doing it. One day we're at the doctor, like, what is that? I'm like, looks like you got some pressure on your shoulder. Things like that. It's just awareness. It's like the pillars of the class, right? It's mindful awareness and your breath. So these things that I'm sharing with you, the pillars of the class, all these things I'm sharing with you are things that I've observed in not just clients but patients, so that I can gather that data, that information, and bring it to you, so that kind of the average person has no idea. I've seen thousands of patients who have conditions, right? Who have all kinds of different conditions, and they're just they're everyday people, doctors, lawyers, plumbers, computer people, IT people, whatever. So I'm able to bring that and then share it with you. That's how I developed my class, and that's how I developed these little tidbits of information. They're not just my own experience of me, but from what I see patients dealing with. When I talk about like the feet, right? Or I talk about the spine is the most, probably if I had to pick one, the spine is the most important. That can really take you out. So those kind of things, making sure you have spine health, go to your spine x-ray. Just go to a chiropractor. Your insurance will cover it. You can at least see something before it happens, and then so obviously cognitive stuff is important, and exercise has been proven to help that as well. So most of you here are kind of preaching to the choir, because I know most of you, and you work out regularly, so you're already in cognitive function. You're already working on that. You're working on your whole body. I see most of you doing other things. Most of you understand nutrition. So there's a lot of I guess, at-risk population, they're not as educated, they don't understand how important like nutrition is and stuff like that, or they don't have the money to do it, they don't understand how they can eat nutritiously cheaply, which you can. It's just, it's tricky, but you really can. And so things like that, but most of you understand that. So what can I bring to this particular class? You're educated, most of you exercise and work out. So I'm trying to bring you information that you can't get, that you can't just Google. And so that's, what do I see? What kind of patients do I see in your demographic? And so what's happening to them? And what can I share with you? You know, that'll make it interesting. What have you not heard in other classes? You know, something different. And I think about that all the time before I come to the class. So that goes back to my pillars. Out of everything I've seen, out of everything I teach, out of all the certifications, out of everything I read and study every day, continually, and patients I see every day, and that is, goes back to the phone. It sounds like something woo or cheesy, but it's not. It's being mindfully aware of how you're using your body at every given moment. And it's a lot of work. And that's why I talk a lot about Tibetan monks and Shaolin monks, and it doesn't matter. You know, it's not, I'm not mentioning that for their religious purpose. I'm mentioning that because their disciplines have to do with the body. And people misunderstand, like the Buddhist monk and the Tibetan monk. The interesting thing is they're there to serve, and they are in a religion. But what's interesting is that they spend most of their time trying to get a grip on this, the mind. So as soon as they enter a monastery from day one, whether they're 7 years old, some of them are 7, and some of them are 57. You can enter right now. I can go to monastery and enter right now. And from day one, I've shared with you that mantra, right? Which is, I will get sick, I will get old, and I will die. And it's not a negative thing. That's not negative. That's just, I'm going to appreciate every second, and so I need to take care of my body and my mind. And so from day one in the monastery, they're not allowed to walk faster than this. This is my yoga class all day for an hour. These kind of things, try them. We don't have time in class because the class would leave. As someone told me, I wouldn't have a class. If I sat and did seated meditation, that's advanced. And I don't mean it in a patronizing way, it's just an advanced thing. This is advanced. No one's still, we just want to get over there. But trust me when I tell you, you will learn a lot about yourself and life. You can spend all day walking from that end to that end. It's a very interesting journey, and it's very intriguing. The things you can learn from that doesn't make you better than anybody else. Doesn't make you enlightened. That's up for you to say, but it does teach you a lot. And so as you go throughout your day and you're grocery shopping with your grandkids or with your loved one, you can just be in their presence and they'll be hurry, you accomplish a lot, and your body starts to relax, and life just seems a little bit more calm. And so mindful awareness is what that is. And then your breath. So getting a grip on the mind, that's what the monks are trying to do. That's why they're walking slowly like that. They're actually trying to get control of this. And yoga is the same way. Yoga, the first sutra of yoga, the second sutra is Chitta Vritti Ninodaha, and that just means calming my mind. So all these ancient art forms are about getting a grip on this. This controls everything. Let's start out with something like that. Let's start out with Little qigong, doesn't matter what you call it. So I'm just gonna stand here like this. We're just gonna inhale. I'm gonna lean back a little bit and exhale. I'm just conducting my breath in my mind. Conducting my mind like a conductor. And I'm feeling my body. Not tuning out, I'm tuning in. Let's do 7 more of these. 7 more of these, something like that. Your body is balanced. You just woke up and you're getting in tune with your body. We're not tuning anything out. Any little ache, pain, any tightness, you want to tune into that and not ignore signals that your body's giving. Smile a little bit. It's another added. When you smile, your body starts to release certain chemicals in the mind that make you feel a little better. When you smile or laugh. Your body is engaged, relaxed. Glutes are engaged, my legs are engaged, my core is engaged. Let's do another one. We'll grab some energy from the earth, and then we'll push down any energy we don't want. Exhale any stresses or emotional things that you kind of influence the earth to help you with. And we'll go into Archer too. Archer, or inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Do it at the pace that feels right for you at this moment. Full breaths, full inhale, full exhale, breathing out all the residual air in your lungs. And the more you breathe out, your belly button goes in because your diaphragm actually went up. I'm not in a hurry. Not trying to get anywhere. Last one here. We'll do another one here. I'm sure we've done this one before. Down. And lift up. Flow my hands down. Inhale, interlace fingers. Exhale, push down. 3 more of those. 3 more of those. Welcome to class. Let's do some gentle. This is a Qigong move too. It's actually called knocking on heaven's gate because of this part of your sacrum right here. Your hand gently taps this. If you can't tap it or you don't feel like it's tapping, you can always tap it here. Spine meets the pelvis here. SI area, so vital to health. So some nice rotation. Challenging yourself compassionately. That means do the best you can at the moment if you want. Cervical rotation 2. Front rotation, looking behind you as well. Nice and gentle, breathing. Breathing. Move with your breath. Always moving with your breath. One of these. Okay. Let's go side to side. Side to side. Pick up that foot and tap. Tap across the midline, across the other foot. Can't help but think of every single musical they have this move. Great musical. This move is in there somewhere. I don't know about modern musicals, maybe not. But every musical prior to 20 years ago has this move. Okay, well, let's do some reach ups too. So reach up. I'm going to hamstring curl too. Hamstring curl, curl the hamstring. Curl the hamstring. Pull that leg up. Hamstrings and glutes and hip flexors. Okay, let's go to cross crawl. Bilateral stimulation here. Out to we have all these machines like the do all. If you can't go outside, you know, in the winter, just notice you're working up the sweat. This is not easy. I don't know why this isn't more exciting than a treadmill. I think it is, but my wife said no weird, so I do stuff like this. You get a greater workout doing this. I guess it's just not as fun, but it's definitely more challenging than a treadmill. Kicking your leg up like this. Okay, let's do our hips. Just turning to the side so you can see. They seem to be loose, right? So in a full circle. There's some back issues, just pay attention. You don't force anything. Just breathe. Kind of feel. You can of course look here, cheek a little bit. I want to feel the smoothness. I'm trying to work every muscle between my upper thigh and my belly button. Lots of muscles going on through this. Lots of hip flexors. Psoas, iliac, quadratus laborum. Rotators. This is one of those things that people lose, okay? And most of you look pretty good. Don't move your shoulders as much that way. If you want to check in, you can always just have your hands here. You won't necessarily have a mirror. You can just feel internally, feel externally. There's no reason to lose this. We can just keep doing this. Do it for 1 minute a day or whatever, here and there, a few seconds. Because people do lose this, I'm going to tell you. So that's one of the things I see all the time. People get older. We can slow down the aging process. We know what to expect. All we have to do is look at our parents. Okay? We know what to expect. Let's do some, we did rotation, cross crawl. Let's do some shoulders. Rolls. And back. And flap our wings. Fly away free. And we're going to do a tap. I think I've showed you this before. We are here. Tap shoulder, tap traps, tap shoulder. Back out. And as I come here, it's the strengthening, mobility, flexibility too. At the end here, try to have some flexibility, just reach as best I can. Never exceed your limit where you are at the moment. If something hurts or doesn't jive with you, and just dramatic with it. And then while we're here, we can take one arm here, and then I can assist in the stretch. And the other side. Brings us to, let's go to lateral flexion. So here we are here. Slide your hand down your leg. May not look like mine. You may be able to go farther. Clasp our hands together. Rotate your wrists in both directions. Nice juicy rotation. Look at your hands. Rotate your wrist. All you have to do is look at them. Feel. Observe. And then we're going to hold and flick. Hold and flick each finger. Just cycle through. I'm just cycling through. You can do it slowly or quickly. And then I'm going to press, each one. Dexterity and finger strength. And then we're going to do supination and pronation. Shake that out. And let's go to our feet. Here we are here. Spread your toes. Spread your toes. Look at your toes. If your toes aren't spreading, get your hand to train those toes to spread. Yes. And then, yeah, we're going to point flex, plantar flexion, dorsal flexion. Inversion and eversion. I'm going to use the floor to help me a little bit. So I can get a little bit of an assisted stretch. Actually, let's do the lower limb too. what's underneath. Side. Run through that same cycle again. Your shoes are inhibiting your feet from being optimally spread and engaged. All the plantar side, the plantar fascia, the plantar tendons, ligaments, and all the muscles of your foot are being inhibited most of the time when you wear a shoe. So going barefoot as much as you can. That's one of the, and I say it a lot here, so I can't emphasize that enough. That's one of the things that ages everybody. And I believe it's because of shoes. A lot of, there's many scientists who believe that, not just me. Research on it. It's very intriguing. So go barefoot as much as you can, or able to. On that note, let's do this one. Heel rock, toe rock. So this engages the foot as well, strengthens your foot muscles. When you do this with the shoe on, the shoe's doing at least half the work. I would estimate about 80% of the work. That's my opinion. Excellent. Let's do some, just call this one here. We're going to close and then open. Close and open. If you sit at a desk a lot or the computer or drive a lot, you can do this all day long. You can't do too much of this. So the whole population is getting focused here. Or forward, roll in the shoulder, forward head posture. So we need to get it back. Thoracic retraction here. Good mobility. A lot of IT people, I see they can't do this anymore. They're stuck like right here. Can't get past this because they're so forward roll. Okay, let's go. Let's do a single external rotation. Just looks like this. Single arm, and we go back to the other side. So I'm externally rotating this shoulder open, and then I rotate my trunk as well. Yep. Don't exceed your limit. Listen to your body. Okay. Let's just do neck. So here we are here. We're going to just look down, chin to your chest. Look down, keep your torso up. Your torso is going to want to lean forward. So keep it upright and just forward flex. Stand for a few seconds. Breathe. Especially flexibility, mobility. Compassionately challenge yourself. Because it's always going to want to go to the same spot. And the issue with that is, believe it or not, you're going to decrease your flexibility every year. If you just go to the same spot without giving a little bit of some effort, some compassionate effort, you will decrease, because that's just the nature of life. And as you age, you'll decrease it. You have to give more a little bit to maintain the same thing. And then awareness, looking up. And you're going to lower your jaw. You have your mouth shut. You're causing tension as you look up with your mouth shut. So release the tension. Separate your teeth and breathe. Yeah. Breathe. Looking up. Up. Sky. Look straight ahead. We're going to look to our left. your left. Right. Where is nice and relaxed. Trying to retrain your body. Every time you do a movement, you're sending signals and you're retraining your body to be in a relaxed state as you do what you ask it to do. Come back to neutral and then we're going to do a head tilt. Feel like my torso's leaning, so I'm just going to come back. I want you to feel. If you feel your torso go, then just come back to neutral and start over. Breathe. Breathe out. Let your torso bend. And then on the side. Back to neutral. And then we'll do one circle clockwise and one counterclockwise. Don't force it. Wherever your head will go. Back the other way. Nice. Mindful. Let's do our double step. Finish that. Double step to the right. So, one hop again. Step. Other things like double step, then I'll open, externally rotate the hips. And then I'll do the grapevine. You either walk it, or you can run it. Grapevine. Forward, behind. Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's do our multi-directional. This is a fall prevention sequence I created. Everybody falls. No matter how old, everybody falls. My nephews fall all the time. They're in their teens. They're in a hurry all the time. And they run into things, break things, stumble down the stairs. So they like, oh my God. And they get up laughing. Okay, so we step forward, across the midline, out, back. When I come back, I'm really actually using this glute, exercising this glute right here. Forward, that's all the quadriceps, across, adductors, out, abductors, outside, back. I like to do it slow first. I like to change the speeds. Training my body to be in this position. So I start out slowly. My body can create those pathways. Everything should be taught slowly, especially with the body. Then you can speed that up if you want to. You want to make sure you have your balance. That's the whole point, right? You want to, I should be able to come by and push you. You will not fall. You have your balance. You're stable with each position. You're stable with each one. Stable here. Stable here. You're pushing it a little. Now stay. Stay. Step solidly. Other side. balance. Yep. Good. Recommend this for every day. It's multi-directional movement. Never know when you're going to trip on something. Your body will be ready for it. It'll react. The muscles will be worked already. A lot of people don't work at doctors. You hardly ever cross your leg over. In the day. So adductors get neglected a lot. Okay. Let's work. All I'm doing is cycling through any muscle that we didn't work. And there's 600, so that's why it takes a few seconds. Of that, I think we've worked about 600 muscles, especially when you throw in the neck, the hands, and the feet. And pretty much that's an extra roughly 180 right there. So, okay, let's go to the edge of our mat. Actually, you know what? Let's do this one. Remember, we push our hips back. What I want to, you have your hands here. You're in a nice, stable position. I don't need to look in the mirror. I can just push my hips back and squat, semi-squat, right? Pushing my hips back. And then I use my hand to counterbalance. This is the core exercise. It's like swinging a kettlebell. Kettlebell is a core exercise. It's not a leg or arm exercise. That's what's so ingenious about doing the kettlebell properly. It's a core exercise. One of the best exercises I know. If you don't have time, you can just swing a kettlebell for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Rest and stuff. Kettlebell works your whole body. This movement you're doing right here works your whole body. The core is the most important part of your body. It becomes cliche, so we don't really realize it. It's everything. It's what holds you upright. It's what can bail you out if you have a limb that's got a problem, whether it's a leg or an arm. Between your upper thigh and your belly button, that's where all your power and strength come from. Creation of life, your nerves, your will, it's in your gut. Your sense, your intuition. Talking to your loved one, like some control. Okay, good, wonderful. Let's go we're gonna go through a forward fold. So we're gonna inhale, reach up, tippy toes. I'm working my feet again. Tippy toes, and staying here. Tippy toes, working my foot muscles. And then I'm gonna swan dive. Stop halfway for a second. And then forward fold. Forward fold. Nice and relaxed. Forward fold, nice, passive stretch here. Keep breathing. Forward fold. Your legs don't have to be straight, but you can work your hamstrings. So the straighter your leg, the more you'll be working your hamstrings. You can feel that. Or you can bend your legs as well. Either one. And then engaging your core and your butt muscles, roll back up, roll your spine. Your spine can roll. We keep it flexible, sweep your hands up. Look up, hands to prayer, and then pressing gently. Work my pectorals, shoulders. Then the swan dive again. Swan dive and go to a downward dog from here. So I'm just going to walk my feet away. Downward dog. I'm going to pedal my feet back and forth. Get some mobility. Pedal my feet.
I'm also gonna do some baby little squats here. So from downward dog, knees almost touching, squat, and then come back. Knees almost touching the floor. It's like you're gonna go to your hands and knees, but then you stop. Come back. Doing some squats here. I know they're not necessarily easy. A lot of stuff going on here. Don't do squats for me. It's a great way to work. You're working all the same muscles as someone squatting at a squat rack. You're doing the same thing, except it's easier on your knees actually, because you're not going in as much of flexion. You can feel you're working your glutes, hip flexors, quads, thighs, hamstrings, calves, foot. It's a great way to work your legs and still keep yourself safe here. Okay, from here, if you have it in your practice, if not, so listen to me. I'm going to verbally walk you through it. Listen first. Decide if you can do this. I'm going to extend one leg up. I'm in a downward dog with one leg up in the air. 3-point stance. I'm going to come and touch my elbow and come back. I like to take my time here, so do 5 of those. When you finish, you can go to the other side. Straight leg up in the air. Try to make a straight line. That's part of the challenge, right? It's not easy. Keep that leg straight. That way you're working your glute and your lower back. The leg is straight because I'm trying to work my glutes. If I curl my leg, working my hamstring. But we work our hamstring anyway. It's the glutes that get neglected. So I'm always going towards the part of the body that I see the most dysfunction in with people. I do. Okay. Always take care of yourself, right? No matter what I say, it's your responsibility to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rest here for a second. Okay, rest. You always take care of yourself. The more you do some of those, the easier it becomes. The downward dog, I remember my first day in a public yoga class, like it was yesterday. They go, okay, we're going to do a simple thing called downward dog, and they walked me through it, and I had a puddle of sweat sitting here. And she kept us there. I'll never forget it. It's the longest downward dog I ever did since. She was a new teacher. She didn't realize that that's hard for people. I did the same thing when I started teaching. And then I realized, wait a second, I remember being there. So empathy helps me teach. This is not an easy pose, but I will tell you this. I couldn't do it for 5 seconds. Now it just becomes a trick. I just consider this a circus act. I can say it forever, but it's because I've done thousands of them. But the point is not that I can do that. It's not for ego that I'm sharing that. It's that when you do something and you have your mind involved and you're breathing, your body starts to work together. And that's what I'm always repeating that as well. When your body works together, 600 muscles, then they're each doing just a little bit of work. So that's why it's a trick. Anything like standing on one leg, just concentrating, becomes all my body, because I've done this, my body knows what to do, but it started out very slow. So as you do your athletic endeavor, no matter what it is, try to get your whole body engaged and train it. Even though it looks like you're just using one side of your body or not, use all your muscles. So that's what these things become like tricks. So let's go from here, we're gonna go to bird dog. We're just reaching forward and reaching back. Same thing with this one. This is even more proof, right? This downward dog does take more strength, right? It takes more energy. Let's just stay in this pose. I like to stay here because again, that's where the body. So this is a postural exercise. This trains your body to use every muscle. Because all these muscles you're using in harmony and synergistically, this is what you do when you're walking and standing. All these muscles should be working together to help you stand erect. Breathing, just breathing. Breathing easy. Yeah. Reaching forward and reaching back. Switch sides. And I'm always saying you don't have to kill yourself, right, with exercise, but challenge yourself for boring. Challenge yourself by these little. I make little games out of it to keep my legs straight. Because it's more challenging to keep our legs straight than it is to curl legs straight. This is a glute. Your leg is being sustained by your butt muscle because that's the largest muscle, and your hip flexors. It's not actually your leg. Your leg is not really working that much. It's from here to here, from your hip to where your butt meets your hamstring. That's why I like this as well. Reaching forward and reaching back. Training your body right now to work together. It's a great exercise. Maybe I am weird. It's one of my favorites. I can just make it a game. How lengthy can I get? How steady can I get? How easy can I make this? What's going on? Why is it difficult? Why are you following? Why are we breathing heavy? Come back very slowly. See how slow you can come down to the mat. Okay, we're going to do the swimmers. Once you reach destination, face down. You know how I feel about this one. This is an everyday exercise because you do not use your extensors on the backside of your body unless you are swimming the butterfly like Michael Phelps or something. One hand is always touching the ground. I always use the modified version because there's no need to overstress the body. You just as much use out of this. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. No jerky movements. Shh. Out as you come up. Out as you come up. Your head and neck come up as well. Shh. Shh. It's nice and controlled. I'm trying to lift my glute. Nice and controlled. Teaching the body how to move calmly. Be fit, calm, and strong. You don't have to just be one or the other. Okay, take a rest. Okay, we're going to go on our hands and knees. We're going to do some old-fashioned push-ups. Push. Pushing and pulling is important. So, whatever your push-up looks like, keep your shoulders safe. I recommend your hands closer in towards the midline of the body. Yeah, whatever your push-up looks like, even if you're just holding yourself up, you're still doing an isometric, right? You're still using your chest muscles. Nice. Okay, for those who want to try this, you can stop and look at me. I just really like this. I keep forgetting to share this with you guys. Please listen to me. It's not about ego, okay? And please, if this isn't in your practice, do something else. I just want to share this with those who want to try it. It's actually easier. So here I am here. I raise the leg first. It's the same concept. I'm using my body together. It's the same thing as the bird dog. This is the prerequisite, this. Once you have this down, everything's working together. The only difference is this just takes more strength, but it takes the same muscles. It takes the same coordination. Go more like a plank. Because that's more like a downward dog, right? I mean, you're doing it. So you're you're just in a plank. Yeah, mine may have looked different. I mean, there's different versions.
It's harder.
So it's like, I'm just like in a push-up, right?
Oh,
Raise up a little more, obviously it helps to come up my bucket and higher. Okay. It's not about, yeah, anyway, you can make your own version. Obviously, this is a strengthening exercise. It's also a balancing exercise. I would never just do this one first. I would do bird dog many times. And then I would try to do this as you build strength. Because as you can see, this takes a lot of strength to do that. Okay, go to child pose, rest for a second. Just breathe. We're going to spend the last, I want you to come sit upright, face me. I'm going to show you a stretch. I'm looking at the clock here. I think we got a minute now. So right before we leave, I wanted to share with you the science of stretching. Stretching is the science. Believe it or not, they don't teach it in yoga. I don't know why. I'm baffled at that. But the thing is, most people, when they stretch less than 30 seconds on average. They've studied this over and over and over. There's scientists that just study stretching. If you want to increase your flexibility or get out a kink in your body, it's got to be 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So I'm just going to show you what that's going to feel like. So we're going to start now. You have this foot in here. Might look a little different. I like to do it this way. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to twist and bend a little, and I'm primarily trying to breathe out. So every time I breathe in, I'm going to breathe out as long as I can, and then take another breath. If your body is fighting you, then you've gone too far, and you need to back off. There's no fight. Breathe. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. But if something starts to hurt, back off a little, but don't come out. If you can back off enough to make it a little easier without coming out. Doesn't mean you can't move a muscle. Okay, you can still pulse if you need to. You can do all that, but you want to stay generally in the pose to retrain those muscles. You're convincing the muscles that it's safe to be in that position. That's the scientific abstract conclusion of these studies, and you can read them for yourself. They use these words. They use fear, safety, nervous system. Your nervous system is convinced that it's safe. You lengthen your flexibility. Until that happens, you will not increase your flexibility, no matter how many times you stretch it. switch sides slowly. Always come out of the pose slowly. Don't ever jerk out of the pose, okay? Always mindfully aware. Another side. The longer I stay in a pose, the more you've convinced your nervous system, because you have to prove it. You cannot BS your body. You have to prove to your nervous system that you're not going to get hurt. Once you do that, your body starts creating a neural pathway for that mobility and flexibility. Breathe easy. Start to pull. Things will start to get fearful because your body's not used to stretching for more than a few seconds. Just see if you can come out a little bit, take a breath and go back. And then your body will trust you. Seconds here, just breathe. Very mindfully come out. Is that clock correct? Is anyone? I left my watch at work last night.
Yeah, that's pretty bright.
It is okay. Well, thank you everybody for letting me share some things with you. Okay, and have a beautiful day. Okay. Keep that in mind. I wanted to share that with you today because it's something that as I train people and I work at the clinics. Nobody, you can research this stuff. I always want you to go research the science of stretching. Look at these studies, they're incredible. It's nothing that the ancient arts didn't know already, especially martial artists, gymnasts from the East. Staying in these poses for 90 seconds to 2 minutes really help you make headway into your flexibility, and it relaxes your nervous system.